you are going to make so much money. And she was like, what is it? So I went ahead and sent it. She got excited. I just sent her that little, the little, uh, oh my gosh, it's too early, man. Um,
You're like,
but she got excited. I brought samples to the tax appointment so she could see the boxes, not just have them, and showed her some before and after pictures. And we're meeting tomorrow at 2. I really took to heart that point of set up the next meeting before you leave the meeting, because that's what I do with my clients. Whenever I keep books for somebody or whatever, it's like, okay, when are we getting together next? When are we getting together next? And I did that. And I'm so glad I did. I'm having to unlearn some bad habits, and it's really great to have you guys every morning putting me on the right track. It's just awesome. I so appreciate you.
well, BJ, we appreciate you too. And I know you're heavy into tax season, and we're all a little bit like, are we awake yet? Because the daylight savings. So, but I'm happy that you're on here today with us, and we are grateful for you as well and your shares. So thank you for sharing. All right, who else would like to share some good news? Anybody else? All right. Well, I was hoping we get to hear a little bit more about the Dallas event. Would anyone else like to share a little bit more about what happened in Dallas?
Hey, so
Hi, Linda.
Adrian, it's Linda. Not going to turn my camera on. I'm sorry.
It's okay.
Today. But it was really a high energy event, and we had a lot of prospects there. It was a large group. I know last time we were kind of overflowing in the group, and so this time we had a bigger room, which is always a great sign, right? And we heard from Christine. She did just a fantastic um, kind of a testimony of what she's been through, but also just, kind of what the next phase is right now that we need to be in and how we can go to that next level. And really how to be really efficient in our prospecting was really cool. And Kim kind of had that same theme going, like, and really breaking it down. I love the way Kim trains like that, right? So in the training, she really broke it down into the numbers, like figure out what dollar number you want to make, figure out how many cycles that's going to take, figure out how much CV that's going to take, figure out how many people it's going to take, even just as customers. That's the residual income is just getting people on auto ship. So that was kind of a cool message that, yes, we're trying to find business builders, but just getting people on auto ship. If you just wanted to go that way and get a bunch of people on auto ship, what would it take? How many people at 60 CV would it take? And that's okay, because that's the residual long-lasting income that we're going to create. So it was just really cool, some of that training. And Lance and I did the opportunity. I'm trying to think of any of the other sessions. And of course, Samson was fantastic with his training as well. So it was just a jam-packed event, and people stayed till the very, very end. We didn't have an exodus of folks. It was great. So overall, I thought it was a really good, well-run,
Mhm.
well-organized event too. So
Wonderful. Oh my gosh. Well, I'm sure it was. I would have loved to have seen you and Lance present together. I bet that was amazing. And with how many guests you had there, I'm sure the sign up rate was like 100%. So what an incredible event. I also really appreciate when Kim goes through the numbers, like that, where she really does break it down for everybody and says, well, it brings your whole business to a reality, where you're like, oh, okay, if I want this, this is what I do. This is what I get this. Sometimes I think we can be a little bit elusive when we have like names in this business, like 3 star pro, da da da. But what does that really mean, right? We have to break it down into the cycles. So I'm so glad that she trained on that. I know that was probably a huge huge benefit. And Samson is always one of my favorite speakers. I just think he's phenomenal. So,
Yeah.
I mean, it's hard not to get excited with Samson there, and he just really, truly cares about everybody. So, I think that's awesome. Thank you for sharing that, Linda. I really appreciate it. For those of us that weren't in Dallas, we found it out. So to be able to hear you share that is just awesome. So thanks for sharing all about Dallas, Linda. Okay, is there anybody else who would like to share real quick, and then we're going to dive in because we're ready to go.
I'll share. Sorry, we're just getting in.
Okay.
I just wanted to say, I said it on the other call, but we're such a family. I just want to say thank you to everyone. It was just amazing. I can't even, we were just talking about it on the other call. It was such a magical last 9 days between Chicago and the events that we had in Dallas to have the original OG, as I say, that started this company in Dallas, pouring their hearts out to us, like just giving us all that they could, hugging, loving, everything. I now have a lucky charm that I didn't even know there were clickers to a computer. See, you two could not understand. I never knew what you guys were doing with a clicker. And now I have a special clicker that is, from a millionaire. That's my lucky charm. I just want to say from the bottom of my heart, each and every one of us on this call, we can all be successful because the leaders really care. They really care about us. They really do. And George and Adrianne, I know we were like, they couldn't be there, but we were there in heart, in spirit. And, let's just go, y'all. Let's just show them what we can do. Let's show them. Let's just show them.
Yeah. Well, we missed you guys so much too, which is why I love all of the shares that we're having around Dallas and being able to hear what went down and how amazing it was. I mean, obviously, I wouldn't expect anything less. I mean, we're all pretty amazing, aren't we? Should we all give ourselves a pats on the back today and just be so glad that we said yes to this company and this opportunity, and that we have Kim Wee and Samson and Lance and Tracy and Linda McCormick and, Christine Peterson and Antoinette in our life, being able to help us have these incredible events going on. Huge congratulations to those that rank advanced as well. I know we had Jackie Craver who rank advanced to 3-star. Woo, woo, way to go, Jackie. I had no doubt. The very first phone call, I was like, come on, Jackie, you got these numbers, girl. I know you do. So, yeah, you got it. So proud of you. And it's, you know what? It's just, I tell you, you can feel it. It's palpable. The amount of attractor factor that we have going on in 3 right now is all of you guys, all of us on here, 64 of us on here, the fastest growing team collectively in 3, right? We're about to experience some mega growth. Can you feel it? Yeah, we're about to experience some mega growth, right? And the fact that we get to come together every morning collectively too is just so beautiful. Like, I'm so grateful for Lance and Tracy plugging in, and Linda and everybody's teams, Nilbert, everybody plugging in, Gary, Frida, Christine, all of us working collaboratively together to help make 3 a household name, because we certainly are creating miracles in people's lives, right? What do we say? More meetings means more miracles, right? And money, but also miracles, right? We can help with that too. So, okay. Would anybody else, I know we only have a few short minutes. I really want to dive into today's subject, which is make your list. But if you have to share, I want you to share. So if you have something quick you want to say, please do so about anything you'd like to share. 2 more minutes. Oh, was that Christine? I can see her trying to unmute.
Yeah, it was an amazing event. And I just was talking about it with my other people. I'm not even dressed. I mean, it's like we got to bed at 9 days on the road with Kim, amazing, irreplaceable moments in time of leadership, wisdom. And it was really funny going to Chicago. There was Kimberly and Carmen and all the leaders there, and Shannon flew in, and Kathy flew in from um, Atlanta. And then Kim got on the phone and said, "Oh, you're from Atlanta, Kathy. Oh, my friend Les Brown is here. Let's call him." He gets on the phone and talks to us. And he says, "Okay, you guys, our society's been disrupted. The people need us now. And so you get 100 people in Atlanta, and I'll be there with all of you in Atlanta," because he lives there. And Kim said she would come in, obviously, too. But we just had amazing things, and people, I mean, Shannon flew in, drove in with her children, like 3-4 hours to get to the event, to have their appointments to see Dr. Dan. And it was just like one thing, I couldn't even hardly keep up with it. I was just like, but kept taking all my products, and then I would get to bed at 1 o'clock. Then I had to get up early in the morning, because then I had to go, because Kim wanted me in those meetings to take all the notes of how to be able to teach all my people, because she wants it done this way, this way, this way, and to create this massive movement. We're all on the same thing. And I'm going, okay, taking it. And she doesn't take any prisoners. And she's going, "No, too slow. That person's too slow. Forget." I go, "Okay." So we're going like this. She's like all business, because she understands fast is better, slow is hard. And we are moving that. There's just no excuses. And then we get on the next day, I'm on the same airplane. Oh, Samson says, "Christine, what flight you flying out to Dallas?" We're flying out the next day. And I said, "Well, I'm on this flight." He says, "Oh, we're on the same flight." And so here we get on the flight, says, "Do you need an Uber?" Sam says, "Do you need an Uber?" I said, "No, I can get my own Uber. I'm fine." He said, "We can pick you up." I said, "No," taking care of me the whole time, taking me out to dinner, like I'm somebody important. Well, no, I'm just an ordinary worker, but they were taking care of me all through this trip. I so appreciate it. We get there, we're into action. We get there, we're already, Antoinette's got the Spanish meeting, and Gladys and all her people, and Jackie and uh, um, um, Sylvia show up, and we're all doing Thursday night. Now we've just arrived in the afternoon. Now we start the meeting that night. Then the next morning, we're at 9 o'clock going to noon every single hour. And Astrid's flying in from Florida. And we have another superstar that's flying in from Canada. I can't mention her name right now, who's on fire. And then we have another one from Houston, another mega queen, I won't mention her name, who is zooming in with calls with Kim. We're like, I'm taking notes, and Kim's going, okay, and we're juggling this, and poor Jackie and Sylvia are out in the hall waiting to have their appointment, and we're going, "Just a minute, we're trying to get this," and people are late on their flights, and it was just like, but we made it happen, and everybody was good. And through all this, Jackie is becoming a 3-star. I don't even have time to even go, "Oh my God, I got to get this out." So at midnight, I'm going back to my room going, "I got to get Jackie's recognition out, because I'm so proud of her," and I'm just like crazed. And then we get up the next morning, and we're all okay. And then we run out, we have dinner, then we do this, when you do this, and then we run the next morning, and we go, "Okay, now here comes Kim and Samson and the Smiths and Linda and all these mega giants and people coming in who pour their hearts out." My people at Sutra, one of our leaders, drive in 4 hours from Oklahoma City, and our dog, she had a big mascot. It's what do they call it? Not guard dog, but a special dog that.
Boxer.
No.
Emotional
Service
support.
Service dog. I'm still like, I haven't even, I'm like crazy. I know George even called a couple of times. I said, "Oh my God, there's George." And I'm in the middle of a meeting and I can't even talk, but I love that. We're out of control. That means you're in control. And that's when the start of a movement starts, the momentum. This energy. So what do? We arrive. Let's see, what did I do there? Oh, so we're all day. And then I'm teaching, Kim's teaching, Samson's, Smith, everybody's teaching. Amazing training and strategy. I even learned, I'm always learning. I learned so much from Kim and Samson. And then, of course, it's my birthday. well, I don't have time to celebrate, but Kim tells Gary, who's flowing in for Sedona, go get the cakes, those special cakes. They have an Uber driver or whoever it is, bring the cakes in. I finish training, and then they bring happy birthday, bring these 3 cakes in, and we have cakes for everybody. And it was absolutely delicious. And then so we go all the way to the end. We're just and we got guests, and we're having guest events, and we've got training. And then Kim says, okay, I need more time with you. I've got you, I'm counting on you to do this. I'm taking you to dinner. I go to dinner. She now has my birthday dinner, and she has a Marilyn Monroe thing with big cotton candy for dessert all around. I'm good. She said, all right, take your pictures. Let's take your pictures. And I'm right there with Kim all night. She's feeding me information. This is what I want you to do. This is what we're going to do. This is what your team. She's telling me exactly, giving me a plan of what to do. I said, my God. And yet, we see Wendy, who's been there in Samson's group, who was with Kim and another company, who had to wait 7 years to even get an appointment with Kim.
Wow.
And see, that's what's going to happen here. There's going to be a time this company grows so big, Kim won't be out here with us. And that's why she's coming here for us to teach us to create this movement in America. And we're doing it, all of us here on this platform, in this group. We are moving the group to go. And so you can't have any excuses now. It is fast is better, slow is hard. And already we saw people in the event that said they were sitting there, and now they see their friend come in with somebody else. They said, oh, I told you. That's what happens. You see the words getting out. If you don't get to your friends and get into motion, somebody else is going to pick them up. That's it. You can't, every single day, you can only do incoming producing activities. And that means prospecting, connecting to get them on a Zoom with your leader and enroll and on board. Next, prospect, present, enroll, on board. It's just, that's all you do. That's all you do. You don't spend hours trying to be an expert on the product. That doesn't make you any money. And frankly, let me tell you something. It makes your other people think, oh, you're a real expert on this product. I can never do what you do. And then you go, you have to kind of act stupid. I don't know all the things, and I'll just say, I don't know those answers on the product, but that's Dr. Dan's job, and we have videos and stuff. I'll send you the tools. And then what does that tell those people? Those people go, oh, yeah, okay, she didn't know anything, but I could use those tools too. You want to make your job look easy. Don't become the expert. Your role, every one of you right here, is to build a team of people. And you're looking for those 10 people that are going to build this massive movement, because one good leader will bring in 1,000 people. And if you don't bring them in, we are. I am. My team members are. I want everyone on this call to rise up and go with this. I'm all in. And you have to decide, are you all in? Are you going to get off this call every morning? Oh, I feel so good. It was so wonderful. I learned so much. I love being part of the community, and do nothing. No, you got to step it up. You got to step it up if you want to be the leaders of this $10 billion company that it's going to be. That's what you have to do. You have to be inconvenienced. The leader is inconvenienced. The leader, like, I'm not even dressed. I get up this morning, I don't even have my makeup on yet. And yet I've got calls at 11 with 10 people. I got off the airplane yesterday at 4:00, and I had Zooms 5, 6, 7, 8. Irene's got people in Guam. I've got groups of people. I can't hardly keep up with it all. So this is what you want to create. Now, you may not see it right now. You might just have one person, two. That's where you start. That's where I started. I had one person, another person, and then pretty soon you get discouraged. Like, are they ever going to get going? and some will, some won't, but I don't wait for those people to get motivated. Action creates the motivation, and I get those people right behind, and I'm looking for somebody. I'm already looking for a new set of leaders. I'm looking for my next set of leaders that behind this set of leaders. That's what we call building behind. I'm not depending on just these leaders. I'm building this group underneath that's going to actually probably be bigger than the first group. Does everybody get this? I want everybody to get shaken up. It's time to move. No more excuses. And when you go to, everyone on this call should be a 3-star, or a 3-star pro, or a 3-star lead, or 4-star by convention. Done, finished, no excuses. Everyone, and we're all doing it together like this mass of skylarks, birds flying together. Some are going up, some are going down, some are going this way, some are going this way, but we're all moving together to create the greater vision. Okay, so that's it, Adrian. I got kind of carried away. I'm all revved up and fired up and excited. So I know I'm taking your time, and I didn't really mean to do that, but I just feel so passionate about this morning. I got to go get dressed. I didn't even eat dinner last night. I thought, what? I didn't have time, and I couldn't even sleep. And then this morning I'm up, I'm like, oh my God, I got to wake up. And then I've got phone text ringing. I'm trying to text that, and I'm going, oh, this is good. This is good. This is good. So you want to get that momentum going. Everybody get this? How many are going to be a 3-star? You can do that in a month or less. Everybody, no excuses. I don't want to hear any whining, 100 whine. I want you to go into action, okay? And I know Adrianne, it's just starting with those numbers. So that's it. Adrianne, I've taken your time.
Oh, hi. So sorry. No, I'm back. That was beautiful. Thank you so much, Christine, for sharing all of that and so passionately. I know that it got all of us excited. Actually, while you were talking, I was following up with a few people because you got me fired up.
All right.
I muted for a second because I was like, oh, I have to reach out to Becky. But yeah, so thank you so much for sharing all of that. And honestly, what an amazing weekend you guys all had, and your team, Christine, and everybody, just so proud of you. And you're right, every single one of you on this call ought to be a 3-star, especially before convention, right? On our morning calls, we always say, I'm so happy and grateful now that I am a 3-star or above, whatever your goal is, whatever your rank advancement goal is, on or before June 24th, 2025, because that's the cutoff. Okay. June 21st would be better if you want to manifest that. And you're so excited because you're celebrating you and your team and the people you're bringing on board in order to achieve those goals. And so, yes, that is the goal right now. Everybody should be looking towards that. So, all right, my friends. So I'm excited. I'm going to just briefly share just a little bit about list making and list building today, because it is a numbers game, but I don't want you to look at people like a number. I want you to meet people where they're at. And so when we're reaching out and we're connecting with other people and we're doing it from a heart-centered place, we're doing it because it's the intent to be able to help serve them. Yes, we're looking for a yes, no, or maybe so when it comes to them partnering up with 3. And we don't want to waste a whole lot of time, but we do want to ask. And that's the thing. You want to be the person that asked, and I think there's something to be said too. I think it's interesting. Christine said, they're going to end up on her team if you're not reaching out, especially in that area. So use that as fuel, right? Because what I'll tell you is that what happens is you want to be able to say, I did reach out. You want to be able to say, hey, I did reach out to Elizabeth or Adrianne or Amanda or whoever's on your list. You want to be able to say that you did connect and you did reach out, and that you're doing your job, because that is our job. Our job is to reach out. It's to connect, present, and follow up. Connect, present, and follow up. Now, that doesn't mean everybody can join your team, but I do hope they become a part of 3. And you can know that we're moving the needle in 3 even if somebody enrolls under somebody else, right? You want to make sure that you guys are doing your part, your job. So when it comes to list building, I like to do a little bit more of a hybrid list nowadays. I know that we have the Project 100 tracker form right here. I'll show you where it's at. So if we come in here and we click share, okay. I'm sorry, I click share. It looks like this. Okay, you would print 2 of these out. Welcome to Project 100. And it talks about your race to completing 100, which means you're reaching out to 100 people total. So there's 50 names here. You're looking for your top 10 board of directors through going through these names. There's a small section for notes. And then you're prompting yourself, like, who do I know? Right? You can go straight through your phone. Obviously, that's the first place you want to look is you want to use this sheet and write down anybody you know, right? Your chiropractor, who's, who are people that know, like, and trust me, right? But there's also this section right here where it says social media. And how many of you guys have ever sat down and you call somebody and you're like, oh, that's not the right number for them, or where is that, right? Okay. Sorry, let me backtrack 1 second. If you go to business resources, let me finish sharing, okay, where to find this form. If you go to business resources on the ourlegacymakers.com site, right here, hopefully y'all can see that. Under here, it says tracking forms, okay? You would click tracking forms, you'll go to the page, and then you'll see these are all of the team tracking forms that we use. So it's the Project 100 is the making your names list. We do have daily practices that you can fill out as well, right? 3 by 3 by 3, or the level up tracker connecting with 30, which we talked about for March Madness. Our team is using both the names list and this. Actually, that is not, I don't know why. Okay, I got to rehyperlink that. There's a couple things I had to rehyperlink this weekend. So if you guys were looking for the professional slide deck, it is updated now. And then there is the roadmap to 3-star and the fast track, like how do I actually help somebody make money? So just know that what you're tracking, you're attracting. Okay, what you're not tracking is the results you're going to see. So you want to be tracking on some level. So any one of these will do. Okay, any one of these names list, any way that you're tracking, whether it's make your names list all the way up through level up tracker, you're tracking your daily activity. You're tracking what you're doing every day to move the needle in your business. Okay, so let me stop share real quickly. Okay, alrighty. So, okay, so we're going to talk about that. This Project 100 right here, I printed a new one out today. I'm going to start a new list. I highly recommend that you do, even if you have old lists, you want to go back and put those names on this list. If you're still following up with them, that means if they haven't said yes to you yet, that doesn't mean you're done. I think some people are like, oh, Bobby told me no once. He's off the list. I'm like, Bobby didn't know enough to say no to you. Does that make sense? Like Bobby saw like 30 seconds of a 10-minute video and was like, no, thanks. But really the point is like, what's going on with Bobby? Like, you know what I mean? Like, how is he doing? How is he doing all this stuff? Which is why I like to use those scripts for success, both online and offline. But when it comes to list building, your list is a living, breathing thing. We're dealing with humans here. Yes, we have an incredible, viable product, but we are in the relationship business. And so your business is to actually develop relationships with people. So you really need to, like I said on Friday, open your capacity for more. Which means you think you're going to write down all of these names on this names list. You're going to smile and dial and you're going to start calling people, and people are going to be like, I'm sorry, I'm so busy. Can I call you back Friday? And you're like, oh crap. Okay. I got to rebook her for Friday. Then you're going to call, Danny, and Danny's going to be like, I'm going on vacation. Can you call me when I get back? Okay. Yeah, I could, but right. So things start popping up because we leverage people. Like our commodity, like we leverage human beings who know human beings. I need you to understand that. Okay. So when we're out there, this list is so highly key, and it's so important that you're working off of it and that you're tracking it to the tune that, like, every time, like, your own batting average. Like I can guarantee you Antoinette knows her own batting average. If she reaches out to 30, 3 are going to say yes. She's enrolling 3 or more, right? Her batting average, I bet, is better than that, okay? Because she's gotten really good at the skills of being a network marketer. And so for those of you who are just getting started, list building is where we start. And you want to use the 5-point recruiting system to be able to help you really hone in on the skills of connecting, presenting, and inviting. But if the name is not written down, it doesn't exist in your world. When the name is written down, it exists in your world. And not only that, the universe, God, whatever you want, puts energy towards those manifestations because it is what you desire. Okay. And so, and I'm not trying to get all biblical or anything, but ask and ye shall receive. But actually, you also have to, there's a bridge of belief in there, okay? Between asking and receiving, there's a bridge of belief, and your activity is how you believe. So when you're having a crappy day in this business and you're like, everyone's saying no to me or whatever, your job is still to believe that the names that you put down on this list are worth calling, are worth following up with, are worth not giving up on. We are in the relationship business. Okay. So I know you're kind of like, whoa, she just went super deep, but it's true. So I truly believe it. There's a heart, brain, mind connection. When you physically write names down, something miracles happen. They just do. Miraculous things happen. Now, what I mean by that is, yes, you can work online. I know I talked a ton about social media on Friday, but what happens is you take those names that are sitting in your messenger, your Facebook Messenger, and you're adding them here, okay? Because a lead is a lead is a lead. Okay, a lead is a lead is a lead. If it moves, it recruits. Okay, if it moves, it recruits. But you've got to have it written down somewhere where you're tracking it. So that way, when you show up to a Saturday event and Kim Wee says, do you know what rank you want to be? Do you know how many cycles that is? Do you know how many people that is? You can go, oh my gosh, I need 2 or 3 pages full of these names. Where am I going to find all the names of the people I need to go through in order to achieve my goal? Through your cell phone, through social media platforms, many different ones, Facebook, LinkedIn, Instagram, whatever it is that you like, TikTok, okay? Whatever it is that you like. The human beings are out there, and you can't run out of people to talk to. I said on Friday, saying you've gone through your entire names list is the equivalent of saying, you know, the dog ate my homework. It doesn't work nowadays because you can't run out of people to talk to, my friends. They're everywhere. They're at the grocery store. They're in line at Starbucks, and they're online, for crying out loud, right? So, all right, let me show you what I mean. So I've got a few people. I went through last week. There are 6 people from last week that I have to connect with. So I will write their names down first. Okay, just start a new list each week. I'm going to write their names down first. Okay. Then I'm going to go in and let me share one more time. I'm going to go back online. I like to use Facebook because it's like my bread and butter. It's where I get a lot of my leads. Like I never run out of leads because of Facebook. So if I go to Facebook, like I was sharing on Friday, I would come in here. I'm not here to chit chat and scroll, by the way. I know that sounds like what? I'm not even that consistent of a poster. I just know this is where the people are. Like I'm not into the algorithm. I'm not like trying to post to a specific algorithm. I'm here for the people. Does that make sense? Yes or yes? Okay. So when you're on here, you're looking for people that are not in 3. You don't want to friend all the friends in 3. I know I want to friend every single one of you, but if I haven't, it's because you're already in 3 and I get to see you and I know, like you, and trust you already. And we know, like, and trust each other already. I'm recruiting. I'm using social media for recruiting. Okay. All right, so if you come into Messenger, you're going to come in. I'm going to come in and I'm going to expand this. Messenger. Okay, expand to see everything bigger. And then, I don't know what that is. I'm looking through, see, I've been recruiting whoever this is, right? So she hits my names list. She also makes the list because I'm recruiting her. I'm finding out more about her and what she's doing. Here, I'm booking an appointment. Here, I'm reconnecting and following up. Here, I'm right. So I don't want to touch all of them because then it says I've read them. Now I need to go back and do 3. But what I'm trying to tell you is that the reason I like Messenger is because I can actually go back months and months and months, like I did with the guy I just enrolled, Marcus. The last time I talked to Marcus was 2018. And I reconnected with him and started a new conversation and told him I was having a contest with my app and I would love for him to take a look at some material that helped me with the contest. And next thing I know, I'm enrolling Marcus, right? So like you can use this to help build off of your names list as well, my friends. So that's what that's there for. Okay. So I don't want to take too much time today, but what I want to tell you is that the list is the list is the list. Okay. Same thing with the tracker form 30. Like my entire I told everybody, I was like, it's March Madness right now. Okay. If you have a goal for the month of March, it's the power of 3 or 3-star, all the way up to 3-star. All right. But first, you got to put your oxygen mask on first. Let's go for 3, the power of 3. And then let's help those 3 get 3, and you'll be a 3-star. All right. But in doing so, what I'm really saying is I need to see your tracker form. Okay. So when somebody's like, oh, I'm not close enough yet. And I talked to Julie and I talked to Sue and I talked to Kim, but I haven't, I'm not quite there yet. I'm like, who else are you talking to? Please tell me you're just talking to 3 people and expecting to become a power of 3 for the first time ever. No, you need to be talking to 30 people plus, right? You need 30 names in your pipeline. You need a pipeline of people that you're connecting with about 3. And then you're going to be touching on those 30 plus people 5 to 7 times. Like Becky's husband this morning, who I reconnected with online, met with in Florida, right, said that her husband told her that he was not interested. And Becky's very connected and she loves her husband very much. And I said, are you able to make your own decisions about the products that you use? Right? So like there's certain things that, going on with people in people's lives, you might not get that order right away the first round. So it takes 5 to 7 times, 5 to 7 follow-ups of working off your names list before you start really enrolling people, and not just for the product, but for their business as well. Okay. Now, if you do a presentation with somebody and they get super fired up and excited and they come on board and they enroll right away, that's a blessing, my friends. All right, that's a blessing. It doesn't always happen like that. I'm just being very realistic with you, okay? You want to temper your expectations by doing the work. Does that make sense? So in other words, don't let the highs get too high or the lows get too low. Like, don't be like, oh my gosh, Karen just came on board, and because Karen said yes, my whole business is going to change, and it's Karen and it's nobody else, and Karen is going to take me to the promised land, and I'm going to help her and she's going to help me, and that's it, right? That would be letting the highs get too high and putting a lot of pressure on Karen, by the way, right? You know what I'm saying? So it's like, who else is working with Karen? Right? Are you building your left team, your right team? You're building a strong leg. Maybe you have a leg that's already blown out. You have the blessing of focusing on one leg only. Okay. How can you support the Karen that you just enrolled? You've got to have 30 more people in your pipeline. That's how you help support her. How do you get Karen excited? Oh my gosh, Karen, I know you're working on we're doing 3 Zoom calls this week, but did you know I just enrolled 1 more person underneath you? Right? We're building a great team. We're building one strong team here. We're building an incredible team, right? That is valid and it works. And that's how you can support the people that you're bringing on board, is by you continuously doing the work. Okay. So, tracker forms, track your success. Who is tracking, by the way? Just raise your hand, be like, I'm tracking. I'm tracking. And if you're not, that's okay. Now you know what you need to do, right? So today you're like, okay, I'm going to print a new list. Oh my gosh, how did I get so far off track? I don't know, my friends. Life, right? Life happens. Don't be so hard on yourself. Just start again and don't expect yourself to remember everything. Oh my gosh. This is what's so fun about this business is all of a sudden I remember Marcus from 2018. Oh, I got to reach out to him. Do you know what I'm saying? So just know you can't forget the right people. Right? You can't. They'll come back. But if you have it written down, you're just that much better, because none of us are that good to remember 60 to 100 people and what was said last time. So don't expect yourself to be so good. Let the tracker forms help you, right? You're in business, right? Who's the CEO? It's not Daniel Piku. Daniel's the CEO of 3. Okay. You're the CEO of you. So let me just paint this picture for you for a second. How much time would you put in to your business and using a tracker form and making sure you're connecting, presenting, and following up? If this is all you had to do in your day and your whole livelihood depended on it, your goal is to be a 3-star pro or above so you can be earning a 6-figure income. Okay, your overall investment was, let's say, $2,800 a pro collection. Okay. I mean, this is, you gotta work this like your life depends on it, because there are probably some people in your world that aren't taking you seriously yet. And that might be your brother or your husband or your significant other or somebody else, because they're not watching you work consistently. So how do you show them? You start working consistently. You start working off of a tracker form. You start working on your names list. You start treating lists like a business, because it is. Now, we have a lot of fun. This business is way more fun than going to check in at a 9 to 5 every day. And if you're still doing that, like, more power to you. You've got to find the pockets of your life where you are connecting, presenting, and following up using your names list. Right. So I'll give you an example. When I was working 2 jobs, part-time personal trainer, I also had an outside sales position, and then I was raising 4.5-year-old twin girls on my own. I had to carve out, I had 30 minutes in the morning or on a lunch break. It was usually either or. And then I had an hour after dinner and after having put the kids to bed where I could book Zoom calls. So I had to find my time, find my space, and I had to maximize it. Right? So if I didn't have a names list I was working off of, let me just tell you, I was lost in the sauce, and my paycheck showed it. My network marketing paycheck showed it. I was making money like a hobby, not like a business owner. But that wasn't my goal, right? I had to believe that my goal was to get to a full-time 6-figure income so I could quit one of my jobs. Being very realistic with you. So I knew that I had to reach out to 10, at least minimum 10 people every single morning, texting them because I didn't have time to call in between dropping kids off to daycare and doing all this stuff, right? I would be texting people and asking them if they could join me on a Zoom call later so I could share something exciting with them that I just said yes to. Let me tell you what happened to me. I recently partnered with this proactive wellness company. I'm super excited about it. I think it'd be a great fit for you because you're always such like a kind, loving person who is like way into health. Or you could say something like, you're an incredible networker and I would love for you to put eyes on this for me. I would say whatever it would be to get them on the Zoom call, because that meant that if I could get them on a Zoom, that meant I was presenting. That was a part of my numbers. It's a part of my job, was to do the whole presentation and get them to see the whole picture. Yes, I would send them supporting links from the app afterwards if they didn't sign up right there, right? So that's where the 5 to 7 touches came in. But let me just tell you, that was my bread and butter. I knew I had to connect with at least a minimum of 10 in the morning to have at least 2 people on after my kids went to bed at night. So I could do 2 presentations, 2 30-minute presentations back to back. Tell me more about yourself. What's going on right now in your life? Oh my gosh, well, I'm so excited about this. Let me share you a quick little slide deck. I made it very quick. I didn't even go through all, like we have the whole slides. I didn't do that. I didn't go through all of them. I pinpointed it to what they were interested in the most, right? But I did share the whole story. So I didn't leave out the fact that there was an opportunity to earn an income. Okay. But I did that every single day, 5 days a week, and I maximized my weekends, and I did that for 90 days. That's how you get to a 6-figure income. I did it in a 90-day run, and we're in a 90-day run. We're in March Madness. Then we'll have April, May, and that's where we're going to clean it all up so we can all be recognized on stage in June for being Power of 3, 3-star, 3-star pro, 3-star elite, 4-star. Okay, that's the goal. But we've got to put in our all-out massive action. And I don't want that to scare you. I want it to excite you. That every single time you're working off of a names list, whether you're pulling those names through social media or your cell phone or an old email list or whatever it might be, that you realize that that is you. Your belief is coming through the daily activity. Because it brings you, and like Christine said, it's going to feel like chaos. You're going to be like, oh my gosh, there's so much happening. But it's good. You're going to be fire hosed with the chaos of greatness. That's what it is. Okay. Of being able to move the needle in your business and helping your team do the same. So leaders go first. We start with ourselves, right? Pace of the leader, pace of the pack. Pace of the leader, pace of the pack. So you want to start today. Today's Monday, new tracker form. How many people am I going to reach out to today and let them know I have something exciting I want to share with them? When's the best time for us to chat? You're being a good appointment setter. Don't get too crazy. Like Christine said, you're not a product expert. You don't have to be a business expert. There's a tool for that. Don't be a fool, use a tool. Get them on a Zoom. Get them on the Monday Global Op with Jessica Johnston tonight. It's going to be great. Okay. We have a great lineup. Every single week, there's an expert speaking on the validity of 3 and how empowering it can be for them in their life to be on the products or to be a part of the opportunity to build an income from home. So the next event is always the best event. When you're working your names list, that's what you're doing. You're inviting them to the next event. And if they can't do Monday, then what? Are you available Tuesday? If they can't do Tuesday, then what? Do you have any openings Wednesday? If they're not available on Wednesday, then what? I've got a new thing coming up on Thursday. If they're not available on Thursday, then what? How about Friday? Do you get off early on Friday? If they can't do Friday, then what? Surely you can carve out 30 minutes for me on Saturday, right? If they can't get on Saturday, then what? I may be able to, I might, let me ask, be able to get you on with somebody like special, one of my mentors on Sunday. If they agree, would that work for you? Okay. So you guys, it's always the next thing. The purpose of working off the names list is to invite them to the next thing. Now, a lot of us, I have recorded presentations that I've sent out, that I sometimes if somebody's like absolutely can't get on, I'll send it out, but I will not send a link to view anything until I have a follow-up appointment booked. Who said that earlier? BJ. You always have to have the next appointment. In her own business, she has the next appointment. This is your own business. Right? Things come up for sure, but how many people are on your calendar? How many people do you have booked on your calendar for this week? 5, 10, 20? If it's 0, today's your day. You got to book at least 2 this week. Okay? That's how you'll know you're doing the work. Yeah, and you'll feel so good about it. Like, I just want to say that every single time my calendar's full, I'm like, oh, it's like peace of mind. It just makes me feel so good. Right? So it's the same thing with you. I want you to have peace of mind in your 3 business. I want your calendar to be so full around your working hours. I still want you to take time for your husband and your family. We want you to stay married and we want you to be a mom or dad or whatever that means. We want you at the soccer game on Saturday. Okay. So, but you pick your schedule. That's the whole point. You're working off a names list to book it in an appropriate time frame for you. You are a great appointment setter. And in that appointment time, your 100% focus is on that person that's on that Zoom call or that is going to be chatting with you that day and your upline leader. Okay. Make sure you don't work alone. You work together with somebody. All right. So, okay. The names list is the names list. I'm going to leave you with this. If you don't have a names list, you're not in business. I don't know. You're like, that's so, oh my gosh, she said that. I did. If you were in any other business and you didn't have a names list, would you have a business? No. Show me your book of business. What's your book of business? Right? So that's that important. It's that important that you're working off a list of names that you're connecting, presenting, and following up to on a consistent basis. A little bit every day, right? We don't take 100 hours. I'm not going to take 100 hours of Frida's time. I'm not going to take 100 hours of Kathy or Jackie or Linda's time in this business. But I am going to take an hour, a couple of days a week with certain key people. They're going to move the needle and help them become 3-star, 3-star pro, and 3-star elite. Right? So that's how you want to think about it. Every single appointment you book, right? It's on the book for a reason. Okay. I'll say it again. I was in an event years ago, okay, where I was just like an up and coming rising star. I was like maybe like a 3-star-ish. And I had the opportunity to sit into a meeting with a whole bunch of multimillionaires in that company. And there was at a big boardroom table. I want you to think about a big oval boardroom table with about 50 millionaires, self-made millionaires in this industry sitting at that table. And here's me in the corner just taking notes, like so excited I even get to listen in. I may have really forced myself in that room. It's like, I need to see what this is really about. Like, I need to see from the people, right? What is this really about? And I sat in there and they said they were going through the agenda for a major convention. What is the most important thing that needs to be talked about? And they said, well, we got to talk about making your list. We got to talk about connecting. We got to talk about presenting. We got to talk about following up. We got to talk about the tools. We got to, you know what I mean? Right? And they said, well, and somebody kind of raised their hand. Do we need to go through the whole list? Like, should we talk about making a list and what that means? And one woman who is a multimillionaire said, okay, she said, I think it's that important. And they go, well, okay, how do we make it fun and exciting? And it's a list of names. Like, it's not that fun and exciting. It's just a list of names, right? And she goes, well, let me just ask every single one of you. How many of you guys started with a 100s names list? And they all raised their hand. And she said, how many of you guys actually got through all 100 names? And all 50 people in the room raised their hand, but 3. And the 3 were veterans. The 3 had been doing this for 15, 20 plus years. And they each said they actually got through 75 names. 75 is what took them to the promised land. And out of those 75 to 100 with the whole room, they could attribute each one of them their multi-million-dollar incomes to about 5 or 6 key leaders. That's what you're looking for. You're shucking oysters, okay? You're looking for a pearl. but you got to roll your sleeves up. You got to get dirty a little bit, right? And what I mean by that is you've got to get to work. Okay. So if you want to be a multimillionaire in 3, and certainly we know there's examples of it. If you were in Dallas, you were with Kim Wee and Samson, all those, friends, Holly Roush, all those people, they're multimillionaires in 3. Okay. And what you can tell yourself is if that's the goal and they're calling 1 million people, and you heard Christine Peterson basically go through her list with Kim Wee, and Kim Wee said that person's too slow. Next, right? Because they understand that the speed of the speed is important. Okay. So, all right. So when you're out there, you're looking for 5 to key people out of that whole 100's names list. Are you with me? That's why you have to talk to so many people. That's why you want to get through so many in your first 90 days or less. If you're Antoinette, you're sorry, I just love Antoinette. You're doing that in a week, okay? Like you're doing that in a week. No time but now, right? There is no better time but now. So that's why. That's the methodology. We're not saying this to be a feel-good activity or because just to keep you organized and some of those things. We're saying it because literally your income depends on it. How many names are written on that list? How many people have you actually talked to? How many times have you followed up with Barb? It might take 5 to 7 touches. She goes back on the list for next week. Does that make sense? Until they say, never call me again, or they die, right? If it moves, it recruits. If it moves, it recruits. Okay. And we're here helping people. And I know that when we go through the numbers, we can disassociate from the heartness of all of this. I don't want you to. I want you to combine both. I want you to have such a passion, a desire to reach out and have a personal conversation with every single person on that list that it's coming from, I am so excited because, I am so grateful because, I am so happy to speak with you and reconnect with you because I found this thing. I'm super excited about it. Let me tell you what happened to me. Put these products in my body. It changed my world. Now, all of a sudden, I'm out there connecting. I'm getting paid. The company is paying me to share, right? That's the story. So it's your personal story within 3. Okay, we've been on for a long time today. I'm gonna let you guys go, okay? And I want you to just take what you took, take the nuggets, and run with it. Whatever it is that you got excited about on this Monday, on Monday, March 10th, because let me tell you, I am watching the calendar. I'm watching the clock right now. We are in a 90-day run. It's March Madness. The goal when we first started, that was last week, was to have Power of 3 done this month or better. So we're now March 10th. I just want to remind you, we are week 2 of March. Week 3 and 4 is going to come really fast. So this is your go week. This is a push week, okay? Where you're like, I'm going to reach out. I've got my names list in front of me. I'm connecting, presenting, following up. I'm booking so many appointments, okay? This is what we're up to, all right? Okay. All right. So that is it. Thank you guys so much for being on. Thank you everybody who shared from Dallas. Oh my goodness, what a beautiful event. And I will see you guys on the global call tonight. And we're going to go from there. Push, push, push. Okay. But do it with love and gratitude, because that is what we're grateful for. We're grateful to be here together in 3. All right, everyone, have a beautiful day, and I will see you later. Bye-bye.
Thank you.
You're welcome.